All right. Hey there. Welcome back to another video on kind of managing our digital tools and making sure they really work for us and not against us. So this one is not so much about like taking away notifications or removing things, although again, that really is the vast majority of keeping things organized and neat digitally, as well as keeping your mental focus and reducing your anxiety. This one is more about like how you manage kind of your inbox and like what it looks like to help your work. Okay. And other like helpful tips really, but again, you can do all of these or only some of these and they'll be valuable. Okay. So the first piece of advice when it comes to email inbox management is the use of labels. So labels are the things that are like over here on your far left corner of your screen, and they're basically categories that you can make. They're folders that you can put emails in essentially on a common topic. These are super duper helpful when it comes to reading an email, because again, we want to keep our unread amount down. But when we have to wait for like something to happen, so we put it in a folder, a label, to check at a later time under a common idea, or we also just need to group like lots of different people's emails under a common idea. All right, so labels are super duper easy. All you gotta do is go to the email that you're talking about. So there is a TEDx conference. Here, I'll take this off. There's a TEDx conference happening here at Chadwick, and I'm really excited, but I've got to wait for it to happen. So basically, I've read this email, yay, and now I'm going to put it somewhere so that I can circle back at a later time on this topic and check in on anything that might have been talked about over the next like couple months. Okay, so go up here to this icon. This is your labels icon. All right, click on it. All of these you can make, right? So you can create a new one. You can also manage this whole list. I'm going to create a new one called TEDx Chadwick. Okay, so we're holding a TEDx conference. So I'm going to make a new one. And if I wanted to, I could put it and connect it under a different one. But right now I don't want to, and that's okay. So I'm going to create this. And now this email will forever live under the TEDx Chadwick label. Okay, so anything else that's related to that. Someone else talks to me about TEDx Chadwick. I can tag that one as well and put it in the same folder as this one. So that's my first piece of advice, and that's pretty awesome. The next piece of advice is how these labels look. So these labels right now kind of look all the same, like they're just gray, and that's okay, but color can be really helpful. We are very complex vertebrates, and so our brain organizes things based on very small details, and color is a really good information indicator. So if you color things, what you can do actually is use the colors that are in one application and transfer that to other applications. For example, colors that you use on labels here in Gmail, you can use them in your Google Drive and also on your Google Calendar for things of the same theme. So let's say, all right, I've got a diversity, equity, and inclusion label. And I get lots of emails about this topic. And I also have folders in my Google Drive with that topic. And also there are activities, there's things that I do at a certain time, like either I'm doing a project or meeting people or something like that, also related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. The color that I choose here for this label is the color I will choose on my Google Drive folder, and also the color I will choose on my Google Calendar when I am doing things related to this topic. So go to the little dots, click, and anything Google, the little dots will give you your settings. Okay. Now, pick a color basically that like fits with that idea. So for me, diversity, equity, and inclusion is about like many different things kind of coming together. So to me, that says the color purple. Red, it's a mix of red and blue. And those are the two colors on the electromagnetic spectrum. And when you take like the two opposites and put them together, you get purple. So to me, DEI is a purple color. So now, like when I go to Gmail, let's say, I can change my Gmail invite. Like I want to meet somebody for DEI. I will make the invite purple in my calendar. And it just kind of keeps things aligned, and it makes things seem more like kind of synthesized or combined together in a nice way. And that helps us feel more in control and calm. So that's the next tip, is to change your label colors that to fit both the idea, create some information layers to your labels, and also use that color to connect the emails on the topic to like stuff you have in Google Drive, folders you have in Google Drive, and also maybe stuff in Google Calendar. Okay. So the third thing I would advise, like how do we manage our email well, is just what kind of inbox we have, what style. All right. And you have so many choices and you can make changes, and that's really awesome. So first thing is to go and like click on our settings. So initially you get what's called the quick settings. This is a shortcut. And go down to inbox type. Okay, inbox type. So when you log into Gmail, at first you're going to be on the default. So it'll just be all your emails listed in a row. That doesn't have a lot of information. It doesn't help you organize that well, so I don't recommend it. Then you've got these other options. These are just really common. So Google noticed that people generally use these. So these are choices as well. What I really recommend is the priority inbox. And I'll explain why. Okay, so I'm gonna click and hit customize. And what that'll do is it'll take you to your general settings for like all your Google stuff, all your Gmail stuff. And you're gonna be under the inbox heading. And then up here, you see we're under priority inbox already, and you've got these 4 sections. The really cool part about priority inbox is you can choose each one of these sections, like what is it? This is very powerful. Depending on how you do your work with email, choosing different sections in order of priority will greatly increase the speed with which you move through things, and also like helping track what you did. So I recommend putting the most important thing first. For me, that's the unread emails. Okay, I want to know, I want to focus on the things that I haven't read yet. All right, and do those first. The next section is my choice. So important emails, basically you can tag them at the top of the email, and it will show, let me see if I can see it here. Let me go back. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So important emails are basically like you turn this on or off. All right, so we've been told we need to get a flu vaccination. This is an important email. What I use this section for is stuff I need to do. This is kind of like my important to me, I've translated in my head, means to do. It also means send an email back to them. It means action of some kind. So in this case, this little like chevron, you can click it on or off and decide if it's important or not. This information also kind of tells Google like what kinds of emails are important to you and which ones aren't, or lesser so. So I use important as my second section, so that everything that I put here is like, okay, I got to email this person back and take some kind of action on it. All right. So let's go back to our customization. The third section is your third most important thing for you. And to me, that's the all sent. Now, you can go over here and you can change this here. You can choose what section it comes. You notice that all sent isn't here. If you scroll down and you click more options, then you get a whole bunch of choices here, including, you notice, some of our tags. So The reason I've chosen all send is because this is a list of the most recent conversations that I've done. It's a direct follow up to my important list, where the important again means I need to do something, I need to email somebody back. It's my to do list in my inbox. And once I've done it, I do send the email. Immediately it shows up in my all sent. So at the end of the day, when I have kind of my follow up time, check your email, make sure nothing got missed time, I go to my all sent section and I will see the most recent conversations that I have had to make sure, oh, did I actually do all the emailing that I should have today? I'll check the important section for anything that I missed, and then I'll send it and I'll go to the all sent section and check, okay, I did everything. I sent the emails to the right people today. Okay. And then the last thing, I'll just leave everything else. This is just for, viewing like general searches. Like if I read something, I just wanted to double check. That's all. So I recommend setting it up this way. Again, this is my personal workflow, and I find it's very, very helpful to both find things, prioritize things, and organize them so I can find them again. The last thing to do also is, if you want, is change the number of items that show up in the section. So if you leave, like, let's say 50 items in every section, that means you're going to have 200 emails showing up at any given time in your inbox. That's really stressful. It'll feel like your inbox never ends. And that's not good for stress and anxiety management. So this is just me, but I like to keep everything at 10 emails or less. I don't let more than 10 emails show in any different location in my inbox. And that helps me feel like, number one, I stay on top of it. Like I don't let more than 10 unread emails go, first of all. Or number two is that I'm only seeing the top 10 things. Okay. It seems more cozy and neat, honestly. So I would recommend changing this down to 10 or 5 in any given section, and you feel more on top of it. Okay. And as always with Gmail, you make any changes, you have to click save. Otherwise, it won't stick. Okay. So I really hope that helps you have a nice, neat inbox and feel like everything is, under your control, because you really do have the ability to do this. Your tools should help you. They should not stress you. All right. So hope it helps. Let me know, comments, emails. As much as I say, like, oh, we want to reduce emails, I definitely like emails from people letting me know if things are helpful or not. Okay. So hope this helps y'all.